Well, it's that time of year again. RSP season is upon us. But did you know, speaking of RSP, that you can actually put your RSP to work for you? Well, if you've been thinking about buying, but you're maybe a little shy in your down payment, I'll be right back with some great options that can help you get into the market a whole lot sooner than you think. Okay, so you want to buy a home, but you've been putting it off because you're trying to save more for a down payment. Hi there, I'm Jack Davidson, Remax Crosstown Realty. If you've been putting money away in your RRSP, why not make those savings work for you? You know, it might just prove to be a great source for topping up your down payment. If you're not quite sure about how it works, here's all the details on it. Under the current Canadian government's home buyers plan, first-time home buyers are allowed to actually borrow up to $25,000 from their RSP to be applied to their down payment completely tax-free. And what's more, if you're purchasing together with someone else who happens to be a first-time home buyer, you can both access $25,000 from your RSP for a combined total of $50,000. However, since the home buyer's plan is really considered a loan, it has to be paid back within 15 years in order to remain tax-free. So if you happen to be a first-time home buyer, here are 7 criteria that they're looking for. Number 1, all of the RRSP funds that you borrow must be in your account for at least 90 days prior to the withdrawal. Number 2, you can't have owned a home within the previous 4 years, and if you're buying with a spouse or common law partner who is not a first-time home buyer, then you personally cannot have lived in a house that they've owned for the 4 years. Number 3, you have to have signed an agreement to buy or build a qualifying home. So that's just an agreement of purchase and sale. Number 4, you have to live in the home within a year of the purchase date, and it has to be your primary residence. Number 5, if you have used the home buyer's plan before, you can't have an outstanding balance owing. Number 6, when you withdraw from your RSP, it has to be within 30 days of taking title to the home. And finally, number 7, you have to be a Canadian resident. Now, very important here to make sure that you meet all those eligibility requirements. Otherwise, any withdrawals that you make will be considered part of your taxable income at income tax time. Now, here's how the repayment works. Since the home buyer's plan is considered a loan, you have 15 years to pay it back into your RSP, with the first payment due 2 years after you first withdraw the money. Now, the CRA will send you a notice of assessment, which will indicate the amount of the loan that you've repaid, the balance left to be repaid, and the amount of your next payment. So to start repaying the loan, you'll have to make a contribution into your RSP within the first 2 years after withdrawal. So let's say you buy a home in 2019 and you withdraw $19,500 from your RSP towards your down payment. Well, your first payment will be due in 2 years. That's in 2021. The math there is pretty simple. You take $19,500, divide that by the 15 years, and your annual repayment amount will be $1,300 a year. But let's say you'd rather get it paid off a little sooner. So the next year, in 2022, you make a larger contribution, let's say $8,000. Now, at that point, your balance now becomes only $10,200, and that's divided by the number of remaining years, 12. So now your minimum annual contribution for all the subsequent years following will be adjusted to reflect the lump payment, making your new amount due only $850 each year going forward. So you're never really locked in or hit with a penalty if you want to get it paid back earlier. Just make sure that you don't miss a payment and don't go over the 15 years to pay it back into your RSP. You know, recently I met a nice young couple who were doing everything in their power to save enough for a larger down payment. They were making decent money, they were doing everything right, but some unexpected expense would always come up, so they just couldn't quite manage to accumulate quite enough for the down payment. At the same time, I also learned that they had been maxing out their RSP contributions every year for the past 12 years. So I introduced them to the HBP, or the Home Buyers Plan, and that was just about 4 months ago. And today they're living in their own home in a great family neighborhood and putting their equity into their own pocket instead of the landlord's. You know, it's easy to see how taking advantage of the HBP program and making your money actually work for you can get you into a home that much sooner. If you'd like some more information, or if you have any questions, you can always reach me directly at 705-796-5225. And until next time, I'm Jack Davidson. Thanks for watching. And if you'd like some more information, give me a call anytime. I'd love to help you get on your way to homeownership.